Alright, so you should have grabbed the two papers when you came in. Today we are doing the exterior angle theorem. So yesterday, if you were not here, you should be listening in and following along on the notes from yesterday, which are posted on Google Classroom. So let's get these two titles down, and then we will move on to the two pages for today. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the little half sheet, but first, before we do that, we need to turn to that page that we are going to be recording on. This was yesterday, triangle sum theorems. So today we should be on exterior angle theorem, date, page number, and then this is actually what the theorem is. So we are writing that down. What it says is that the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. Okay, so we're going to see what that looks like in just a minute. So go ahead and copy that sentence down first, and then we'll move on to the examples. Okay, so we have this paper in front of us. Whenever I said exterior angle, this is what the exterior angle is. Okay, it's going to have a little line coming out the side, and this is what we would call the exterior angle of the triangle. This is equivalent to these two put together. Okay, so these on the inside are called interior angles. So basically it's saying that these two added up together equals the exterior angle. So you would just solve this like a regular algebra problem. You would just subtract 50 from both sides and you would get your answer of 70 degrees. Okay, so my answer here would be 70. Alright, so on the next one is kind of flipping it, where the exterior angle is missing and the two interior angles are given. So we would do the opposite of subtraction. Okay, we would add these two together to get the outside angle. So this is of course equivalent to 90 degrees. So in order to solve this, we would just add those two amounts, which would give me 160 in this equation. So x equals 160 on this problem. Okay. All right, so these are two are pretty basic, and then of course we still are doing some algebra concepts within our geometry units. We still have to be able to solve those types of problems. So again, my exterior angle is here. The two angles on the inside equal that angle. So you would set up, and then of course we always want to know what we're solving for. We're solving for x here. So 58 plus the other interior angle, which is 5x plus 10, equals 11x plus 2. Okay, so we would set that up. First thing we should be doing is combining our like terms. In this case, it would be 58 and 10. Okay, so that equals, easy math, 68 plus 5x equals 11x plus 2. Okay, from there, we would then solve like a normal algebra problem. We would subtract our 2 from our 68. That cancels out. 68 minus 2 is 66. Plus 5x equals 11x. Okay, so you just simplify it down. From there, my next step would, of course, be to subtract my 5x from both sides. Okay, so we have 66 equals, and then that would be 6x. And then my last step would be to divide. Okay, so that should equal 11. Now, sometimes it's going to ask for a missing angle. In this case, it's only asking us to solve for x, so we don't need to plug anything in here. So on the next problem, we are solving for y, okay, which is on the inside. It's going to be that third interior angle. So this one's going to be just a little bit different. We would start it off the same by saying that these two together sum and equal that. Okay, so we have 30 plus 10x minus 10 equals 12x minus 4. Okay, we're not worrying about x just yet, or y, sorry, because we have to solve for x first. So again, we would combine our like terms. Okay, so those two together would give me 30 minus 10 is 20. Okay, from there I would then add my 4, that would cancel out. 20 plus 4 is 24, plus 10x equals 12x. Okay, from there I would subtract my 10x from both sides. That cancels out. 24 equals 2x. Then of course you would divide. So that would, I'm just going to kind of move it over here so we can see the process. X equals 12. Okay, but that is not my answer. I'm going to try to find the value of y. So the way I would do that is I would take 12 and I would plug it in here. Okay, so 12x, that would be times 12 minus 4. Okay, 12 times 12, simple math, would be 144. Minus 4 equals 140. Again, still not my answer. That's telling me what this side is. These are what we call supplementary angles. Together they add up to 180. So if I want to find the missing angle, I'm going to subtract 180 minus 140 to get 40 degrees. So in this case, y equals 40 degrees. Okay. Alright, so this is exterior angle theorem. Now, on the next page, we are going to do only half of the sheet, just so that you have some examples, because again, you will be quizzed and tested over this. So let's move over to that. This will go in your journals. You might want to trim it down so that it fits onto the page. Okay, so now we're looking here, and we are going to just do a few problems on this page. So again, here we have an exterior angle missing. So when an exterior angle is missing, we are not subtracting. We are simply adding the two numbers together, because the sum of these should equal that exterior angle every time. So we would add 70 plus 24, and that gives me 94. That is my answer for the first one, okay? Then we come to a different type of problem where it still kind of looks the same, except now my exterior angle is present and I have an interior angle missing. So when I have an interior angle missing, I am going to actually subtract. Remember, if there's a square there, that equals 90 degrees. They're giving you that angle. So all I have to do here to figure out the missing angle is subtract. That gives me 60, and that is my answer, okay? So you have two examples. They're solved differently, all right? So down at the bottom, we have some more problems. We're going to choose another couple to do on here. This problem looks a little bit difficult, so I just want to show you here. Again, same type of problem. This exterior angle is present. It's giving me one angle over here. There is something sticking out over here, but don't worry about it. You're just going to focus on these two. Again, an interior angle is missing, so you would subtract 143 minus 49 on this problem. So we would borrow, that would be 4, 13, and that should give me 94 degrees for my last angle that is missing. Okay, so again, interior angle is missing on this problem. Just so we remember the different scenarios that we have here. Okay, so at the bottom, again, we have some more algebra. Remember that these two together on the inside equal the outside angles, so we would add those together, and then that should result in 17x minus 1. Okay, so my first step again would be to combine my like terms. 84 plus 5 is 89. And everything else should stay the same. Okay, you bring down the 7x, bring down that second part of the equation. Next, we are going to then move all my whole numbers to one side, all my variables, coefficients to one side. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. That cancels out. That equals 90. Okay, I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. That gives me 10x, which gives me a pretty easy algebra problem here. I'm going to divide by 10 on both sides. 90 divided by 10 is 9. Okay, we're solving for x here. We're not solving for the angle. All right. So basically, we should know how to do the algebra part. It's kind of just the setting up that we might have problems with. So let's look over here at this problem. Notice that, again, it's the same thing where we have an exterior angle. Two of the interior angles are given. These two, again, equal that outside angle. So 85 plus 5x minus 10 equals 11x plus 3. Okay, so again, what's my first step? I'm going to combine my like terms. So 85, again, you always want to get that symbol in there, because here we're not adding, we're actually subtracting. So 85 minus 10 is 75. We add 5x to that. That equals 11x plus 3. Okay, so I am going to now do the same thing here where I move my whole numbers, I move my variables, coefficients to one side. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Cancel that out. That equals 72. We bring down the rest of it. 5x comes down, 11x comes down. Then I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. 72 equals, that would be 6x. So I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. In this case, x equals 12. Okay? All right, so again, these are just practice problems. You will have a quiz tomorrow, which is going to go over everything we learned. You will see a problem similar to this. Might be like the top, it might be like the bottom. Either way, we do need to know how to solve both of those. So we are now going to also glue this into your journal. You do not have to complete the rest of it like you did yesterday. This is for your notes, okay? So you're going to glue in both papers, and then you will work on the paper from yesterday, finishing those problems. Okay, so when you're done with your notes, come to my desk, get your paper, and you can get started on that. Okay.